How are you doing, everybody? It is your guy, Tazz the Angel, here with more car talk, good conversation you can ride to. And of course, I want to start out with the thank yous. I appreciate you guys for just being here, for listening, for liking, commenting, sharing, for everything you do with the podcast. I appreciate you guys. Um, got a little shoulder itch. Uh, want to start off with our with our sponsor, Lone Star Platinum Auto Glass, formerly Steven Johnson Windshield Repair. Lone Star Platinum Auto Glass is a windshield repair service that will come to you. If you call the number 940-539-5912, you can get your free quote after submitting a photo of the damage, and we can go from there. We love to help people out as much as we can, which is why we travel. We're in the Gainesville, Denton, Sanger area of Texas, and the Thackerville, Oklahoma area as well. So again, the number would be 940-539-5912. Text messages are preferred because, again, we need to see a photo of the damage to assess it, to give you the quote, as well as it's easier to retain name, time, and address information for the schedules to flow smoothly. So again, that is 940-539-5912. So today we are going to take a break from the Making Progress series and have a story time in between. This will be entitled Stories with Uncle Earl. And it's a threefer, not a twofer, it's a threefer. The first one I don't remember too much about because all of these happened well before the age of 10. I think I might have been 8 at the oldest. So bear with me, which is also why I'm doing multiple stories. So the first one I'll start off with is the one that I remember the least about, which is when we went camping. Now, I came in contact with and met Uncle Earl through my god brother and his family. My god brother Solomon. It was me, Solomon, my sister, Nigel, I believe Chris and Courtney were there, but I'm not completely certain on that. All of these are guys except for my sister. So we go to North Carolina. Come on and raise up. Take your shirt off. All right, so anyway, we go to North Carolina. I'm sorry, I couldn't keep a straight face. So we go to North Carolina from Mississippi, which was like a 13-hour drive, son. And I do not remember the name of the camping grounds because, again, I may have been 7, 8, something like that. At the most, I was 9, because by the time I was 10, we had moved from Jackson to Crystal Springs, so we really didn't have the time and money to go back and forth to my godbrother's house, because it was already, if I'm not mistaken, like an hour away when we were in Jackson. So moving to Crystal Springs added 30 minutes plus to that commute. Because he lived in Madison. I don't know if I said that, but Madison. So again, we take that 13-hour drive, which of course, to children seems like forever. Even as adults, man, being in the car for 13 hours, that's a lot, and of course that includes the stops for food and bathroom and all that, but still, it's 13 hours, son. That's a lot of time. So we get there, and I have this faint memory of being at someone's house first. And I remember that person having a trampoline. Now, I don't know if that was like someone that I'm assuming, of course, it was a friend of Uncle Earl's who knew that we were coming out there to camp. But I remember us, being outside in the tents and having fun, and him teaching us how to, look for moss, how to look at compasses. And I remember that was the first time I was introduced to, I think they call them MREs. I think they're called MREs. The meals that you get, in the military, where you add the water to the rock and it cooks. It's a certain type of rock. I don't know much about it, but you add the water to this type of rock and it makes heat and it cooks the food. Of course, it has instructions and stuff in the package. And I remember my favorite one was spaghetti, because the spaghetti was good and it came with a cookie. So it came with a chocolate chip cookie. So my favorite MRE was the spaghetti one. He had other ones and they were okay, but that spaghetti one was hidden. It was different. As a matter of fact, as I speak on this, the second story that I was going to tell, I believe, ties in with this one. Because like I said, I was young, my memory isn't the best, but these were good times, And on the trip, we went fishing. Now, mind you, Uncle Earl, this is how young I am. I'm so young where I don't remember his actual face. This is because sometimes you will see people when you're young and kind of associate them with other people. When I think of Uncle Earl, this is gonna sound crazy, but I'm just gonna be open with you guys, and hopefully you accept it. You've been here so far, so just keep on rocking with me after this. But when I think of Uncle Earl, I think of an actor. And the actor that I think of, I remember him mostly from Living Single. The first few seasons where Kyle was working in his, I think he was a stockbroker. So he was working in the office. And there was another black man in the office who kind of had like the square cut. It wasn't like all the way the eraser. It was like much closer to the scalp, but it was still cut square like the eraser. And he was above Kyle. And you know what I'm gonna try to do? Now, hey guys, I can't make a guarantee, but in an attempt to give you guys the best content I can, I'm going to try to place a picture of this guy right here. This is the guy from Living Single that I'm talking about. Now, hopefully I didn't point for no reason, and that'll actually be able to be there, because if I pointed for no reason, hey, I'm sorry. But I'm almost certain I can get it there, so we're gonna get it done. We're gonna get it done. That's what that guy is, who I think of whenever I think of Uncle Earl. So, like I said, on the trip, we're outside. We have the tents. He's giving us these different lessons on how to survive. He introduced us to Morse code, if I'm not mistaken, but I have no recollection of any of it, and I really want to learn that over again. I'm just a fan of non-verbal communication, so if I can get more of that, especially a widely known one, to be able to communicate with others without having to use my voice, then that's just a big plus. So yeah, we go fishing, and Me and Solomon are using the same fishing rod because, we're younger than him, so we don't have the strength to just, here's a bite, get out of the water. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that. So at least I didn't. Solomon's 4 years old and I was. So even if I was 7, he was 11. He could pretty much do it. But I mean, I didn't have that. So we're fishing, and if anyone has ever gone fishing, actually dealing with the fish is probably about 10% of the job. 90% is preparing and waiting. So we're there, we're just waiting, chilling, and we get a bite. Something snags our line because it's like at a slant, and it starts doing that, like something's pulling on it. And I call Solomon because I see it first. I'm like, Solomon, we got something. So he screams out to Uncle Earl, "Yeah, what are we supposed to do?" So Uncle Earl, he's on the boat. We're on the dock, like we're on land. We're not in the water. So he's yelling at us, "Hey, you hold this, reel, giving us all the lessons or instructions, right?" So I'm holding the fishing rod while Solomon is reeling, and when he tells me to pull, I pull on a little bit. He reel, pull, reel. You know what I'm saying? So we working. You know what I'm saying? Teamwork made the dream work. You feel me? So we got the rhythm going, chemistry on 100. On 100. And for my less urban people, on 100. Anyway, on 100. So we out there doing our thing, you feel me? And he tells me to pull one last time, and both of us pull. So we look in the air, and it's so hot, like it's in front of the sun, so we're kind of like glaring at it, and we see this long pause, by the way. We see this long black figure flailing in the air, and we look at each other like, snake! So we take off running. We get out of Dodge. Do you hear me? So it hits the ground and it's still flopping. And then after a while, it just sits there. And we were behind two large rocks. We're behind two large rocks, and we like he's behind the rock. I'm behind a different rock. So we're looking at each other like, what we gonna do? So we pick up rocks and we throwing it, and we try to see what's up with it. Every time, of course, we're missing most of the throws, but every time we hit, it would it would just move just a little bit. And we're like, bro, what's wrong with it? Because we try, we gotta get the hook off it, or like we don't know what to do next. Bruh, there's a snake on our line. There's a snake in my boots. There's a snake on our line. Okay, we are young as crap. We don't know what we're supposed to do because we're not trying to get bitten. Bitten? Yeah, I said that right. We're not trying to get bitten. Trying to get bit. We're not trying to allow the snake to bite us. If you don't know one way, find another way. More than one way to skin that cat. But anyway, so we get done with throwing rocks and stuff at it. We stop for a while. It's just sitting there not moving. So he's like, of course he's trying to like get me as if I'm the gullible kid, not rolling. He's like, go see what it's doing. I said, bro, you the oldest one. You go see what's going. All right, we're gonna go together. So we found this long stick, like probably like 3 feet long, because we're gonna see what's going on at a safe enough distance to where we can dip right back out, get behind those boulders. You feel me? So We walk up to it, get closer. Beep, beep, beep. Ain't doing too much moving. We get a little bit closer, and we can clearly see it now. We caught a black holes, guys. We caught a black hose. Do you hear me? That's what we got. That's what we were running from. What we were throwing rocks at, a rubber, what appeared to be water hose. Yep. That was that was, and of course we told Uncle Earl, and he's dying laughing because he sees us like doing all the extra. Like he sees, when we throw it in there, he sees us take our front, and he's like, bro, what? You know what I'm saying? He's from a distance, but he like, what's going on? He sees us throwing stuff at so he like, what's going on? So when we finally tell him that we take it over there, saying, still on the hook, man, he dies laughing, bro. And understandably so, because we were doing all, I'm talking about, hey, when that song goes in the air behind, I'm telling you, it was like a freaking show. It was in the air. You could still see like the water dropping down, and it was just like flopping in the air. And we like, oh crap, that's Snake! Get right out of there, bro. And it was a rubber hose, man. That's what we got. Good times. So now the second story. This is another time, of course, with Uncle Earl. And it's all of us. If I'm not mistaken, it was, again, me. I don't think Courtney and Chris were there this time. I believe Nigel was there. My sister was there. Me, Solomon, Uncle Earl. I believe that Solomon's older sister was there too. But anyway, now this time I'm around 8. I'm a little bit older. And the reason why I'm almost certain I was 8, maybe 9, is because by this time I was already a really good swimmer. Now, my sister and I went to the Boys and Girls Club when we were younger. I forget which years. I want to say 97, 98. The late 1900s. Huh. I'll fight somebody if they say that to me. But anyway, I saw that in the post talking about kids are calling like the 90s the late 1900s. Child, I will give you a rousing round of fisticuffs if you refer to my childhood as the late 1900s, okay? And bring your daddy, brother, cousin, and uncle. All of them is getting these hands. Anyway, so my sister and I learned how to swim at the Boys and Girls Club. Was it the YMCA? Was it the YMCA, guys? I'm sorry. We did go to the Boys and Girls Club, but we learned how to swim at the YMCA. My parents had a membership there, and we would go there after they got off work. They would, both do their thing. And my sister and I, we took the swimming classes there. And she got the best swimmer in her age group, and I got the best swimmer in my age group. And I'm almost certain I was 8 years old at that time. So I've been swimming for some time. That's why I said I may have been 9 during the period of the story. We had all gone to the Gulf of Mexico. And we were down there, on the beach, having a good time and playing, not necessarily volleyball, but just hitting the beach ball around, just different stuff on the beach, having a good time. And so then we're like, hey, let's get in the water. Okay, cool. Now, though you can't tell that at all right now, when I was younger, especially before 10, I was the small, fast guy. Now I know, looking at me now in video or photo form and in person, you don't get small fast guy when you see me. I get it. But I assure you, this was reality. To give an example, third grade year, I used to love racing people, by the way. Third grade year, I'm going to do this quick story, then I'll get back on topic. Y'all know how it goes. So third grade, my sister and I transferred to another school called North Jackson. And I say another school because we originally went to Timberlawn. So we transferred to North Jackson, and we only went there for that 1 year. It was third grade for me, fifth grade for my sister. When we were there, the first few days, we were doing like competition type stuff. Racing was involved. It was like 3 or 4 different lines facing each other. Like it's a line here and a line here. Line there, line there, line there, line there. You see what I'm saying? And what we were doing was, say on this side, everyone had batons. You would run down there, give the person here the baton, they would run down there. Give the person here the baton, boom, 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 until all of the people who originally started on this side are over here, and all those who started over here are over here. When you switch up completely, that team wins. And I don't remember her name, but there was a little girl who they had nicknamed Cheetah. And this probably could have been its own story time, but hey, bonuses on me, guys. So they call her Cheetah. She and I were the last on our lines. And again, some TV type stuff. The 2 people running to us were neck and neck. Do you hear me? We're the last ones in our lines, because I told them I want to go last. I want to go last. I'm burning everybody. I want to go last. I'm telling you, I was a small fast guy. So they hand us the little batons at the same time. And like, of course, you know, building up to it, when we seeing them run to us, they both running to us, we amped up. So we get the baton. I'm looking at her, she looking at me, we running, boom, boom, boom. And we first were like this. Then I just started pulling off. Beat her. Everybody going crazy, because at this point, they still don't even know my name. Like, they still don't know my name, because I mean, I've only been there for like maybe 3-4 days. This is the first week of school. This is the first week of school. Son Guns going crazy. Ah, he beat the cheetah. Ah! I'm talking about like real life pick me up and everything. Craziness, right? So anyway, so with that being said, even though I was young, I was confident in my abilities. So when I always pushed myself to strive to be the best. So that's how I got the best swimmer in my age group, because, I always pushed, I always tried, all that. So back to the original story. We're in the water, swimming, boom, boom, having fun. Well, even though I was a really good swimmer, I was also the small fast guy. So I was very light. Again, you can't tell this now, but trust me, I'm not lying to you guys. This random current just says, "Hey, little guy, come here, please." So I feel myself getting further from them. Like I'm swimming to them, but as I'm doing this, I'm going backwards, and I'm just seeing more and more distance come between me and them. And I'm like, what is happening? So honestly speaking, I'm not supposed to be here. So after a while of just being pulled, once I get so far out, the current isn't just pulling anymore, but it's pushing. So I'm trying to swim this way, then it pushes me. My face hits, I'm underwater. Try to get back up and start back swimming. It's just, and it gets worse and worse. It picks me up. I'm in the air at this point. I look down at the water. I'm in the air. Boom! Boom! And I just keep getting slammed under the water. I can't breathe. I can't control anything at this point. I am completely 100% at the mercy of the water. And if you've ever seen water currents, doesn't have much mercy. I'm getting pulled, boom, slam. Even underwater, it's moving me side to side. I'm trying to swim, but I'm flipping over. And I remember when I slammed down one time, my foot hit a rock and it busted my toe instantly, and I felt the instant pain. So, I mean, as a kid, I don't know through pain, so I'm losing oxygen now. That's the last thing I remember about it, about being in the water to this day. And I should ask them, how did I get out of that water? Because to this day I don't know. I don't remember who got me out. What I remember is waking up on my back. I'm assuming I was receiving CPR. I wake up on shore on my back, and I remember I want to say it was my right big toe was bleeding. And like I said, to this day, I have no idea. I'm assuming it was Uncle Earl who came and got me, because everyone else was kids. Even if Solomon's sister was there, she's 4 years older than him. So if I'm 9, he's 13, she's 17. So everybody's kids except Uncle Earl. So I'm assuming Uncle Earl is the one who came and got me. I need to verify this again. But that's man, look, I think about that sometimes, because times when I get kind of down and sad or stressed, I think about that, because that could have taken me out, but there's a reason why it didn't. You know what I mean? And even if that reason is simply for me to talk to you guys through this podcast, there's a reason I'm still here. I'll end this podcast with a poem that I wrote years ago. And in my first year of doing this podcast, when it was audio only, I actually did the podcast. I actually did the poem, and it was entitled Poetry Hour, but it's called Misconceptions. Misconceptions will have people thinking I don't like you just because I didn't speak to you. But what if I had a more hectic, chaotic day than you? What if I found out my mama, dad, and my daddy did too, while you're complaining over a cavity tooth? Be thankful. It's not just about you. Life's much bigger than you. If I speak, I'd probably cry all over you. Or find a fake reason just to snap on you. But to avoid all that confusion and mess, I'll just avoid you. Misconceptions. What if a gun was in my face with a voice behind, screaming, "Give me all the money"? Felt like still stood time. Wondering if I ever go home to see my kids or wife, or am I at the end of this roller coaster the ride named life? Yet I'm alive. That day my voice wasn't taken. I guess I got some work to do because God thought my life was worth saving. So if I offend you or upset you by not speaking to you, I'm sorry, if I offended you or upset you for my lack of speaking, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to figure out the reason that I'm still breathing. Misconceptions. And what I'll say now is the ending of that with the gun in the face. That's a real situation that I put in that. That'll be a separate story time. Because again, I'm still here. You're still here. We are still here, and there has to be a reason for it. There has to be a purpose for that. We're not here to waste time. We're not here to waste money. We're not here to waste resources. We're not a waste of space. There is a purpose for every breath that we take. And it's our job to figure out what the purpose is. So what's yours? And that will conclude today's Car Talk. I appreciate you guys for listening, looking, lurking. The ones who just look and don't do nothing, you know what I'm saying? Don't like, comment, and share nothing. I appreciate that too. Anything that goes towards the support of this podcast, I appreciate. Honestly. Because this 30 plus minutes, you could have been doing anything. You could have been at a club, at a bar, playing a game, watching TV, chilling with people. Instead, you invested that time into hearing my voice and my experiences. And I appreciate you for that. And I apologize for the loud train noises in the background. But you guys have a great day, a great night, a great afternoon, anything. All of that. Have a great one. This has been Car Talk. Good conversation you can ride to with your guy Tazz the Angel. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Talk to you later.